A fire turns a house into nearly ashes this morning at the Lake of the Ozarks, leaving 4 children dead.
Police are still investigating as the cause of the fire is still unknown. The Lake of the Ozark Fire Department says they may never know. KOMU 8's Caroline Peterson is live at the home with more details and with reaction from neighbors. Caroline.
Jim, Emily, when I did get here this morning, the house was still smoking. And actually, when I got here for this live shot, firefighters are back still dealing with smoke in the back of the house. There were 4 young boys who passed away last night. They were just ages 14, 8, 5, and 4. They were all home alone, according to the neighbors. The parents got back just in time to see the house fully engulfed while firefighters tried to put it out and rushed to get the kids to safety. Multiple units responded to the home around 1 this morning. The heat of the fire was so strong, firefighters could not get in right away. Strong gusty winds could have played a role in how quickly the fire intensified. One neighbor says he ran outside to try and help. He was able to get the other neighbors out of their home, but he says he was not close with the family, but remembers seeing the kids come back from school.
Right at 7 o'clock, the bus was here to pick them up, and I'm going to miss that.
The direct cause of the fire is still under investigation. The department is waiting on autopsy reports. The state fire marshal's main message today at the press conference was to always check your smoke alarms. Reporting live in Lake Ozark, Caroline Peterson, KOMU 8 News.
It was another important day for the Greitens investigation. Earlier this morning, a St. Louis judge ruled he will not dismiss the criminal case against Governor Greitens. However, the judge is, quote, disappointed in the prosecutors. KOMU 8's Allie Walenta is in St. Louis to tell us more about today's big decisions. She's outside the courthouse with details.
I'm live in St. Louis, just outside of the courthouse, where this morning Judge Rex Burleson decided not to drop the charges against Governor Greitens. This decision comes after Greitens' defense team asked for the dismissal, claiming the investigation hasn't been handled correctly. The judge sanctioned prosecutors for not turning over evidence quickly enough. He said there have been clearly violations by the state, but even so, the investigation will continue. The judge also said he wants this to be open and fair, decided by a jury. No attorneys were able to speak to me today because of a gag order, but we will continue to update you on the Greitens investigation as it continues. Reporting live in St. Louis, Allie Walenta, KOMU 8 News.
While the focus of the Greitens case was in St. Louis today, lawmakers were back in Jefferson City working. KOMU 8's Daytona Everett is live at the Capitol in Daytona. You talked to lawmakers today. What are they saying?
Stand by. The consensus from members in both the House and the Senate told me that this looming trial is a huge distraction. I spoke with a few lawmakers on both the Republican and Democratic side, and they said they need to make a decision on the governor soon, or else it might have big implications on legislation that's in this session we're in right now.
Yeah, we're still working.
After a judge refused to dismiss the governor's trial in St. Louis and only a few weeks looming in the session, is doing work at the Capitol even possible?
At best, it's a distraction and something that really, I think, is hurting our ability to pass good quality legislation for the people of Missouri.
Legislation like a budget, which is a constitutional obligation and one that ultimately falls on the governor's shoulders.
One way or another, though, it's time for the governor to resign, let Missouri move forward. And if he won't resign, the House is going to have to act.
It's ultimately the Speaker's call and you know, the will of that caucus.
Both Rowden and Razor agree Republicans are split in the House despite the court decision. The indecisiveness is causing a standstill for any moves toward impeachment.
There's going to be backlash back at home if you vote to remove someone who people support.
Republicans like Rowden acknowledge that Greitens remaining in office does make things difficult for lawmakers.
There's certainly things, that big ticket items, I think, that require executive leadership on that I think are probably just not kind of off the table until this is resolved.
It seems like an easy vote.
If Greitens is found guilty of a felony in his court date in May, Razor told me that he would be surprised if they didn't immediately move forward with impeachment. Reporting live from the Capitol, Daytona Everett, KOMU 8 News.
All right, Daytona, thank you very much for that report. A scary day at the Capitol building today. One of the senators received an envelope, but no one was quite sure what was inside of it. That's where we find KOMU 8's Olivia Gerling. She is also live at the Capitol with more information on this recent incident.
Jim and Emily, I attended a press conference here a little bit ago, actually right outside these doors. Now, I learned that earlier Maria Chappelle Nadal was given an envelope with some kind of substance leaking out of it. No one's still really sure what's in it, though. What we do know, however, is that a hazmat team from Cole County was called in. They've learned that the substance is non-soluble, and they're not really sure yet if it's hazardous or not, but they're still trying to look into that. Thankfully, because it was non-hazardous, no one was injured. That's a really good thing, not only because of the obvious, Miss Chappelle Nadal was not injured, but there were lots and lots of kids here today. I mean, I came in and there were a ton. So no one was injured, thank goodness. Miss Maria Chappelle Nadal, a senator, is in a different office right now. She's still doing work in the Capitol building, but not sure what office she's in right now. So reporting live in Jefferson City, Olivia Gerling, KOMU 8 News.
Authorities identified a Callaway County man found dead and tangled in fishing lines Wednesday in the Missouri River. Deputies found Timothy Moon near the Herman Bridge. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office Facebook page says Moon was reported missing March 11th. The cause of death has not been determined. A maintenance worker died and 3 others injured this morning after a television tower crashed in southwest Missouri. Firefighters say a crew of 7 people were working about 105 feet up the tower when it fell. The tower belongs to Ozarks Public Television, which is owned by Missouri State University. A university spokesperson says their condolences go out to the victims and families.
Philadelphia's police commissioner took personal responsibility today for his messaging of the arrests of 2 black men inside a Starbucks last week. Commissioner Richard Ross at first defended the police for how they handled the situation, but today he says his messaging made the situation worse. He apologized to the men.
And I should not at all be the person that is a party to making anything worse relative to race relations. Shame on me if in any way that I've done that.
The incident gained national attention and led to protests of the coffee chain. Starbucks announced it will close all of its stores in May to conduct racial sensitivity training.
History was made on the U.S. Senate floor today. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth showed off her new daughter, Miley, a day after the chamber changed rules allowing little ones on the floor. Duckworth also made history earlier this year. She became the first U.S. Senator to give birth while in office.
We are 2/3 of the way through April, yet Tim says there may be a frost again tonight. Tim, please say it ain't so.
I wish I could, but yeah, this winter weather just doesn't want to stop yet. The good news is we're talking winter weather, but we're not talking an actual precipitation. We're not talking about snow or sleet or any of that anymore. We're just talking about frost, but could impact that growing season that's trying to get underway here in central Missouri. Another frost advisory for east and central Missouri for tonight through tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Could be another cold night up ahead for us here in central Missouri. Tempcast by tomorrow morning, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning as you're heading out the door. Look at that, 33 to 34 outside. The good news is nice big warm up in the afternoon, warmer than today. I think tomorrow we're going to be back into the low 60s. Here's where we're at right now. 57 in Columbia and in Jefferson City. We exceeded expectations for temperatures. We'll take it. We're in the mid to upper 50s in a lot of spots here in the state. High pressure, cool, quiet times overhead right now. We're going to continue with that pattern into the weekend. Hopefully this system off to our west wants to stay down to our south. That'll be something I'll be talking about here in a second. Coming up, though, your evening forecast. Look at this, 53 at the 7 o'clock hour, 48 at 9, cooling back into the lower 40s late this evening. Coming up, we'll be talking about this weekend's forecast because, hey, we could have a chance for rain in there. That's here in just a couple of minutes.
Tim, thank you very much. Still to come, even more evidence that shows just how bad smoking is.
Plus, working an emergency while training for an emergency, what Columbia firefighters had to deal with later in the show. Welcome back into today's health news. We all know smoking is bad for you, but for young men, it's even worse. Researchers at the University of Maryland found men under 50 who smoked were 88% more likely to have a stroke than non-smokers. Those who smoked at least 2 packs a day were nearly 5 times more likely, while light smokers still had close to a 50% increased risk. The FDA is one step closer to officially recommending a marijuana-based treatment for certain types of pediatric epilepsy. NBC's Erica Edwards has the details on the treatment that's been hailed as a breakthrough.
At the Food and Drug Administration Thursday, a panel of advisors listened to story after story of parents' heartbreak over their children's severe forms of epilepsy.
The dreams that I've had for Riley have slowly drifted away over the years because of unstoppable seizures.
Some kids enduring more than 1,000 seizures a year.
Watching my daughter suffer daily rips a little piece of my heart out every day.
Now there's hope in the form of a cannabis oil called cannabidiol, or CBD. In studies, the CBD oil from GW Pharmaceuticals was shown to reduce seizures dramatically. It's derived from marijuana, but does not contain THC, the part that gives recreational users a high. The cannabis oil has helped kids like Jack Zyokowski. Before CBD, skateboarding and biking unheard of, because Jack was having up to 20 seizures a month.
You just see the light in his eyes, it just vanishes.
Soon, other children in Jack's situation may be able to get the CBD oil, now that advisors to the FDA have overwhelmingly voted for the treatment's approval.
And that was Erica Edwards reporting. Moving on in your other health news, new concerns about the ramifications of concussions. Researchers at the University of California, San Francisco looked at more than 300,000 veterans. They say those diagnosed with even just one mild concussion are 56% more likely to develop Parkinson's disease. Despite the numbers, the vast majority of the vets studied did not develop the disease. Experts say it is possible that head injuries may cause abnormal proteins to accumulate in the brain.
Taking attendance at school is normal, but a teacher was quite surprised by a name on the list. That's coming up.
Welcome back. We've got new details on the suspicious envelopes State Senator Maria Chappelle Nadal received today. KOMU 8's Olivia Gerling joins us live with the latest.
Emily, about half an hour ago, Chappelle Nadal tweeted out that the substance found in her envelope was a cancer-causing pesticide. Now, the Cole County Hazmat team was called. She also tweeted her thanks to first responders and Senate staff for their diligence. As of right now, Chappelle Nadal has been moved to a different office to continue her work. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Olivia Gerling, KOMU 8 News.
Here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News at 6 o'clock. New charges tonight against a woman connected with the killing of a Clinton police officer.
And thousands have to get out of the way of a Colorado wildfire that's coming up at 6. Tim.
Yeah, if you're looking for rain chances, it's not looking likely that we see any rain here in immediate central Missouri. Maybe over the weekend, if you're closer toward the Lake of the Ozarks, you might have a couple of raindrops throughout the weekend. That's about as good as it gets for rain over the next few days. This evening planner is going to be chilly and could be even frosty by tomorrow morning.
Finally, check out this. A New York teacher got a surprise of a lifetime this week while reading attendance for her elementary school. Regina Benzing saw a name that looked extremely familiar. It was her son's, and lo and behold, the 20-year-old airman Eric Benzing was in the audience after spending 8 months in Germany. Pretty special.
That is our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 6.